Hey scrappers, Moose here. So we're back. So this week I've got a few things that I wanted to scrap out for you folks. They're really actually reboots of old videos that I've done, but you know, like everything else, you know, the more we do something, the more we learn. And that's not to say that I still know everything there is to know about scrapping these things, but I'm learning more. I'm always learning more every day, and you know, that should be the goal for everyone. So Wild Heart Farms requested that I scrap out some TVs. So I just did a video on the old-fashioned tube type, and now we are going to be doing one on this behemoth, on this big one over here. Alright, now not all of these are built the same. Let's get that first thing out of the way. So my results are going to be different. You got LED, LCD, plasma, projection screen TVs are different. So this one, yeah, I don't really know, but we're going to scrap it anyway. Alright, so the next thing I want to get out of the way is the people who are going to, you know, say that I should have, you know, sold it as is or for parts. Well, first thing, welcome to my channel. It's probably clear that you don't watch too many of my other videos because, you know, one of the things that I always preach is that scrap is the lowest value of any item. So if it works or has working parts, sell it. You're gonna make more money that way. Check out my videos on how to sell on eBay. But this one is dead, and since I'm not an electronics repair guy, I really wouldn't know how to fix it. And because, you know, so many of these get tossed out, you know, it's really the cost to have it fixed would not be worth it compared to buying a new one, which is why the person I got this from just bought a new one. So with that said, what we're going to do is we're just going to take it all apart, see what's inside, and go from there. So I'm going to zip through this, and you're probably going to, you know, skip from seeing me screwing or unscrewing stuff to everything being taken apart, but you know, just trying to make it a little faster experience. Alright, so really the only tools that I'm going to need for this are, you know, cordless drill, wire cutters. I'm using the big boy wire cutters, not the little flush cutters. Some people didn't like those in my other videos. A pair of pliers, maybe a screwdriver for prying. That's pretty much it. Alright, so first things first, the base that I pulled off the stand, you want to check to see if it's in good condition. If it's not scratched at all or anything, you can actually sell these on eBay. They're plastic, they break. Sometimes people, you know, try a wall mount system and then realize they don't like it and they want the base back. So I have sold these before for $20 to $30 each. So make sure you check that out before you toss it. Otherwise, you know, it just goes in your light iron. All right, this top cover here, which is all light iron. All right, meat and potatoes time. So these things really don't have a whole lot in them, but if you're into like gold recovery as a hobby, yeah, there's some nice stuff in here. For the most part, this big part in here is steel. A lot of them have, you know, aluminum framework. This one does not. The framework is all magnetic. And that, by the way, are all the screws from just the outside of it. Oh, a few fell off the magnet. Alright, so what we're going to do now is I'm just going to remove all these circuit boards and the wires, and then we'll come back. Alright, so we're nearing the end of this scrap out here. Just gives you a heads up that it's about 20 minutes to really rip one of these down. So along the edges you have these that have like these ribbon wires that kind of wrap around the edge. In some models there's a board that has, it looks like a lot of like gold fingers on the side. It's usually a very long thin board. Those boards, if you want to go digging for them, help yourself, but there's really not much gold on there. It's flash plated, and there's usually an adhesive on it, so it's just a pain in the butt. I don't bother going for them. In this one, these wires go right into the glass on the front, so I just cut them off like that. Along the bottom, we've got these little tabs of wire that I just cut off. You've got like a piece of aluminum, and the wire is screwed to it. You've got what looks like it could be silver, possibly. I'm not quite sure. But this little black part right there, there can actually be gold bonding wires in there. So if you want to throw that in with your IC chips, have at it. Alright, so I think we're ready to go over what we found. So we've got, well, we'll start with these two boards that were on the side here. So you've got, this is basically a low-grade board. There's really almost nothing on it. You've got these things that are covered in some kind of glue. They're so covered I can't even tell you what it is. I think it's like a little BGA. But again, keep in mind that results vary. Yeah, it's just a little IC chip. So it's a little quad IC chip. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. You got a nice little MLCC there. Another one over there. Another one over there. Looks like a couple of black, 3 black tantalum capacitors right next to those MLCCs. Now, these wires in the end, you want to pull them out. Wow, that's actually pretty nice. So these are gold plated. If you can see that in the light there. So these, just cut them close to the edge and throw them right in with your trim fingers. They process exactly the same way. Alright, so we've got that. Next up, we've got what looks like to be the power board. And that, by the way, is all the screws from this. Just the ones that I've taken out. There's more. There's always more screws. Alright, so we've got this power board here. First thing that you want to do is these ribbon wires. You want to pull them out and check the ends. See how this one is gold plated? Some of them are not. Some of them are. The ones that are, you know, just cut them with a pair of scissors again. Treat them with AP just like you would your other trimmed fingers. Alright, so in this power board we've got, if I can scratch that up here. Yep, alright, so we've got 2 nice big chunks of copper right there. 1, 2, 3, 4 aluminum heat sinks. Alright, and they are attached to these things. I'm not quite sure what they're called, transistors, MOSFETs, whatever. But those can contain gold bonding wires in them. And they also contain copper. So treat those just like IC chips. Also on this board we have IC chips, I just mentioned. Got that one, a little guy over there. You know, they're spread out throughout the whole thing. We've got some little MLCCs, like that one right there. Got this big capacitor right here, which may contain silver. And I think that's about it. There's a whole bunch of other surface mount or SMDs that are little, I don't even know if I can get the camera to see them. Right at the end of my screwdriver tip, that little blue guy, there's a whole bunch of those things. They're very tiny. If you have like an air chisel system where you're cleaning these boards off with them, put them aside because they can have ruthenium, palladium, platinum, silver, gold. They can have the whole gamut of precious metals in them. Not all of them do, but they can. And over here we've got some gold-plated pins and that little connector there. And that is all that I am seeing on this board. So this by itself would be a power board or a low-grade board. So ask yourself, what you're getting paid. I mean, definitely pull this copper off. You're going to get more money for number 2 copper price. And check to see if, you know, the aluminum price at your yard is better than, you know, low-grade board price. If it is, you know, definitely either pull these on if aluminum gets more money, or leave them on if the low-grade board gets more money. So we got that. Alright, we got these boards that ran the length of the bottom and the front. So again, you got these little ribbon wires, check them. Yep, gold plated. Hang on to them. Now keep in mind that the end is gold plated, not the whole wire. So inside is copper, and the rest of the wire is the lowest grade of copper wire you can get. I mean, it's less than paper thin. Alright, now we got, okay, so these long boards, these are low grade boards again. So, I mean, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 nice MLCCs on them. And some gold plated pins in the connectors. And that is it. You know, a few SMDs, so like this one right at the tip of my finger, that little guy. Those, you know, it's one of those things that can contain ruthenium or other precious metals. Ruthenium, I think, is actually worth more than gold right now. So, right, more gold plating in that wire. Next board, we've got. Check the wire. Oh yeah! Wow, look at that. Got some nice gold plating on that one. So that's definitely going to get treated with AP. All right, and looking at this guy. So the first thing that I'm going to point out is, okay, so number 1, we've got, you know, the IC chip. We have the MLCCs right there. These little guys, those can contain gold and can be processed just like IC chips. All right, we've got yeah. Oh, this guy right here, that capacitor may contain silver, so make sure you put that aside. And again, you know, those tiny little SMDs that may or may not contain, you know, silver, ruthenium, palladium, platinum, blah blah blah. Right, nothing on the other side, so again, another low grade board. This, I think, there's only 2 boards in this whole TV that would be considered mid-grade. This is the only one that I think would be. And it's only because of that BGA chip on it, which is not even the best BGA because it's got that round copper heatsink in the middle. So by weight, it's going to have less gold than the other type, and just in general. But, you know, again, on this board, you're going to have, you know, gold-plated pins in all of these things. All right, you've got that BGA chip which pops off. You know, you get another quad IC chip, dual inline package IC chip here and there. That guy right there might have some gold in it. You got the little MLCCs, crystal oscillator. You know, again, some more of those little surface mount devices that we talked about before. More IC chips on the back, etc. So yeah, so that smallest board, of course, is the most valuable one again. Next, we got this other board, which might be considered mid-grade. It's kind of sketchy because there's a lot of weight on here of stuff that is not precious metal containing. But that's an oddity right there. Alright, so what I just noticed on this one, the thing with silver is it has a tendency to tarnish. Even silver plated stuff. So you get used to seeing it like that right there. I don't know if you can see it in that light, but that one is unlike all the other ones because it looks tarnished. It's really tarnished. So that's probably silver plated. I don't really know. I can't tell the difference between that and the other jacks, but you know, test it with shooters or something. All right. So this again, mid-grade board possibly. There's a lot of ICs. There's a crystal oscillator. There's a little BGA. That's like a class 1. That's what E-Waste Ben calls them. That's the higher quality one. Doesn't have like the excess green junk on the outside. You know, again, you can have the MLCCs all over the place. Little small surface mount device like that one right there. That's a bigger example of the smaller ones that I pointed out earlier. I don't see much for gold-plated pins except for maybe, you know, in these 2 jacks. And that's it for that one. Alright, and the last board is, I think, another power board, or the power board. So, again, check out your scrapyard and their prices, what they pay for things. You want to make sure that you're getting the best value for your weight. So the three main things in here that you want to look at are the price of low-grade boards, the price of aluminum, and the price of transformers. All right. So if any of those are higher than the other, take them off and sell them separately, except if they pay, for some reason, if they're paying more for power boards than the other two things, leave it all together. All right. But otherwise, as far as precious metals go, so I mean, again, we've got the aluminum, we've got the copper in here. We've got some relays, again, which have copper in there, and those silver things that I talked about in that last video about the tube TV. We've got IC chips. We've got these little capacitors here, like that, and like that. That can contain silver. We've got these little transistors or MOSFETs or whatever you want to call them on the back of these aluminum heat sinks, and sometimes they're freestanding like this one. Those can contain gold bonding wires. I don't see any MLCCs. There are other things on here that I'm not totally sure about, like things like these guys. I'm not really sure what's in those, but it is possible there's precious metal in them. I think that's about it for this board. Yep, nothing much on the back. A couple of really tiny IC chips, but that's about it. Alright. And then of course there was the maybe 1/8 of a pound of low-grade wire. Alright folks, so that's it for the big flat screen TV. So, it's, again, it takes about 20 minutes to rip the thing apart, and that's what you get. So, one of the big questions I get is, is it worth it? Well, only you can answer that if it's worth your time or not. For me, it's a Saturday, it's nice outside. Yeah, I'll fiddle around with something in the garage, make a couple of bucks while getting some fresh air. So, for me, yeah, it's worth it. Plus I'm also into the gold recovery hobby. So, little bits and pieces in there, they slowly add up. Alright, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you put them down here in the comment section. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Also make sure that you hit that bell so you get notifications whenever I put out new videos. And if you want to enter to win a bunch of free stuff, make sure you check out the video description for details on my 100,000 subscriber giveaway. It's very easy to enter. And I think that's it. So, again, thanks for watching. See y'all later.